The Principle of Substitution by Anna von Reitz. I have harped, in my own opinion, on the principle of substitution a great deal, but apparently, it is still not enough. Though I say that the enemies of mankind pretend to be us, the message isn't sinking in. I mean that literally and figuratively and in all ways. There are two groups of humanoids on this planet, mankind, who are the descendants of the ancient builder race, and there are humans, who are descendants of genetically altered mankind. Humans are a color of man, in the same exact way that these vermin operate under the color of law, fake, foreign men, and fake, foreign law substituted for what is supposed to be here. This is Satan's principle of substitution in action. The so-called fallen angels are trespassers, pirates, and outlaws cast out of their home world in the star system of Sirius B against the galactic law. They came here and interfered with us in our work, which was simply to develop and caretake this planet. It would be like pirates attacking a small and isolated contingent of the Army Corps of Engineers. So they came here and they robbed resources from this planet, and they caused pollution, and they stole and defiled our DNA and our energetic templates to create humans, and they set up their leader, Satan, to be king over the world that they created on Earth. Are you beginning to get the gist of this? They substituted Jehovah for Yahweh. They substituted the world for the earth. They substituted humans for mankind. They substituted the U.S. for the United States of America. They substituted Sunday for the Sabbath. They substituted their idol, Semiramis, and passed her off as the Statue of Liberty. They substituted their Federal Reserve notes for our United States dollars. They substituted their territorial United States Congress for our United States in Congress assembled and our United States of America in Congress assembled. They substituted their municipal U.S. Congress for our Congresses, too. They substituted Catholic for Catholic. They substituted federal agents for patriots. They substituted Democrats for Republicans. They substituted Republicans for Democrats. They substituted political parties and private corporate elections for the public offices and public elections we are owed. They substituted U.S. citizens for American state citizens. They substituted corporations, persons, for living people. They substituted Paul of Ephesus for Paul of Tarsus. They substituted their territorial states of states for our federal states of states. They substituted our states for their territorial and municipal states of states, too. They substituted their chair of the estates for the English throne. They substituted their UK for Great Britain. They substituted their Scottish corporation doing business as the United States of America, Incorporated, and their Delaware corporation doing business as the United States of America, Incorporated, for our unincorporated business doing business as the United States of America. They substituted Jesus and Christ for Yeshua and Messiah. They substituted the law of one for the law of Moses. They substituted their anointed one for the Messiah. They substituted their Delaware corporation doing business as the United States of America, Incorporated, for the public law. They substituted your name for you. They substituted the triumph of the resurrection for the defeat of the cross. They substituted a demented German princess for the Queen of England. They substituted voting for electing. They substituted shareholders for landlords. They substituted private corporate offices for public offices. They substituted political lobbyists for fiduciary deputies. They substituted executors of trusts for the beneficiaries of trusts. They substituted public trusts for private trusts. They fiduciary deputies private trusts for public trusts. They substituted public servants for public tyrants. They substituted the employees as if they were the employers. They substituted a republic for the republican form of government we are owed. They substituted a bishop of Rome, an office that Peter never occupied, for a pope and a pontiff, both. They substituted Freemasons for Masons. They substituted Amorica for America. They substituted a savior for salvation. They substituted the Dutch East India Company for the British East India Company. They substituted the U.S. Navy for the United States Navy, after substituting the United States Navy for the United States Navy. They substituted law enforcement officers for peace officers. They substituted county sheriffs for sheriffs of counties. They substituted attorneys at law for counselors in law. They substituted the Secretary of War for the Secretary of Defense. They substituted Virginia for the Virginia state and then substituted the Virginia state for the state of Virginia and then substituted the state of Virginia for the state of Virginia, and now the crazy bastards are trying to substitute Virginia for the state of Virginia. Just like Bill Clinton substituted bars of gold-plated tungsten for gold, and laughed when he was caught. They relabel and rebrand and rename and redefine things and then pretend that it's all brand new, that something fundamental and real, usually ownership of property, has changed, that calling an apple an orange somehow changes its identity and nature, or as if calling Gaul by the name France magically alters and transforms the countryside and the people living there into another, different country. These are pirates, outlaws, thieves, carnival actors, charlatans, phonies, racketeers, crooks and con artists, simply on a galactic scale. They deserve the names the Puritans and Pilgrims gave them, masters of deceit and masters of confusion. Their entire stock in trade is to confuse you to the extent that you run into the arms of your own destruction, firmly convinced that you are embracing salvation instead. They actively seek to delude you into thinking that your enemies are your friends, and that their oppressions are intended for your safety instead of their own. Gun control? RFIDs? Just say no. You would be surprised how effective the word no really is. They use the same principles over and over and over, and people still aren't grasping the fact that these are white-collar criminals using trespass and fraud and identity theft and kidnapping and every other form of criminality there is to racketeer and extort unjust enrichment under color of law. And when they got caught trespassing and called out on it, their answer was, "Oh, we will clean up our mess, just kill off the human population and hit reset and all will be well." That would suit them very well, get rid of their priority creditors, destroy the evidence, and keep on skating. I had one of their leaders pretending to be the Archangel Michael come to me and explain the whole setup. He presumed I was one of the fallen, and was in for a helluva surprise. Our little contingent of the Army Corps of Engineers on this planet is part of a far, far greater reality. Our mother star is in the Andromeda Galaxy. They bit the big one when they attacked us. Now their time is short and they know it. Their veil of delusions and confusions has been torn asunder. Their temper tantrums and threats and deceits have not prevailed any more than the rants of a 2-year-old child, and all their names and labels and semantic deceits will not serve to protect them anymore. They are going to be removed permanently from this planet and this solar system. Earth and its people will not be ruined, nor blamed, because of them. We have witnessed their crimes from long ago until the present era, and they will not escape their own chosen fate, nor will the wheat suffer the tares anymore. Every single one of them will be removed, and only those who love the earth and love mankind and who accept their roles as caretakers, will remain. This will be done very quickly and efficiently, as Yeshua said, in the twinkling of an eye, and should be no cause for fear or lamentation, but only cause for great rejoicing. Your deliverance from this oppression is now very near, indeed, it is upon you. Search your minds and hearts and ask yourselves, what do you truly desire? Envision what you desire and let that be your sign and emblem, your prayer uttered without words in the Spirit. If you yearn for truth and peace and kindness, let that be manifest in you and in your mind and in your heart. You will be answered. You will receive what you ask for. The sword of truth is even now smashing through their fortifications like a steel blade wiping away cobwebs. You shall see the restoration of mankind and of this planet, and there will be no more weeping or deceit or crookedness or disease anymore. The voice of the true God has spoken it, and it shall be.